Mm.
I have nothing in my hand. Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys. I'm so happy to be here with you guys tonight, as is Bob. Of course, this has nothing to do with me tonight at all, and it has nothing to do with Bob either, because it's all about him. And so, anyway, I just wanted to welcome you guys to our discussion about his writing journey. And again, we're here every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. And every Monday night, Bob's going to tell you just a little bit about his writing journey up to the point of his book being, published, which is so exciting. And I think it's going to be published soon. That's what I'm thinking. What are you thinking?
I think it'll be ready when it's ready.
Well, yes, honey. Okay, but let's be a little bit more positive than that.
That is positive.
It will be
Not
ready
gonna
when
rush
it's
it.
ready, but
It's
I
a
think
joy
it's
in the
gonna.
journey. You just gotta enjoy the ride.
I think it's gonna be ready way before earlier than you think, just like your writing coach thinks.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hi, Alice. It's good to see you. Hello, hello. Good evening. And Miss Alice, I did notice that you did call me, and I apologize. I was busy. I didn't get a chance to call you back, and I did not have the day off like you had the day off today. And tomorrow is actually my busiest day working here in my studio. So, but one of these days we will definitely catch up. So I just wanted to let you know. But thanks for joining us. So yeah. So what do we have to talk about tonight?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? We'll talk about
Well, I will say that I had a great creating day today. It was very creative. I was in my studio. I was also teaching today, so it was very creative with the Lord today.
So the whole point of the book, when I think about it, it's my story, but my story is his story. Think about his story. His story.
Playing with words here, like he always does.
Because when you look back on your life, all of a sudden when you're in something, you can't see what's going on, the details. But then you look back and you see God's hand or his fingerprints all over everything, moving things around and leading you. Like there's definitely a direction.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I love that. I love that play on words. His story.
His story.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's not just one story, it's many stories. It's testimony after testimony. Look what God has done here. Look what he's done here. It's just cool.
And how are these testimonies going to impact your audience?
Well, hopefully.
What's your goal with your stories that you're writing?
Well, the goal is to show.
Or actually your testimonies, not your stories.
It's to show that it doesn't matter who you are, where you are. There's no one so lost or so dirty that God can't reach them and help them and straighten them out. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Even when it seems like, you're by yourself and alone, God's love is always there. He's always waiting and working in the background. Our job is to open our eyes and see it. Sometimes it takes a while.
Mm-hmm. It does. Sometimes it does take a while, doesn't it?
Yep. You get blinded by the pain and what you're doing. And yep. If you could just take your eyes off yourself for a minute and look up, he's usually standing there with his arms open saying, okay, whenever you're ready, I'm here.
That's right. So then it's going to impact a lot of people, because I know it would impact me, and I'm sure it would impact any of you as well. So, right?
Hopefully, it's kind of the purpose of because the purpose of our pain is, not to hold on to it, but to let it go and then help other people who might be struggling or in pain or just don't know where to turn, just to give them hope. God is there. He's waiting.
Very cool.
He can help you.
Very cool. So what are we going to talk about next week?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? I don't have any idea what we're going to talk about next week. I have a whole week to decide what we're going to talk about next week.
All right. So we don't know what we're going to talk about next week. However, we will be back again with you guys next week, next Monday at 7:30 p.m. I guess we're keeping this short and sweet. You have nothing else to say?
Well, we could talk about who God is. You want to talk about that? It's not. I don't really go into it in the book, but
We could talk about who God is.
who God is.
Okay. There's a lot to say about who
Yeah.
God is. That we'll be here for hours and hours and years and years.
Well, maybe we could just scratch the surface, make the wheels turn a little bit, right? Who is God?
And this is not related to your book?
Well, of course it's related to the book. In anybody's life, well, who is God? What's God is? Remember, Ed Randis wrote a song, and it comes out that he had to change it because God is a person. He's a personality. Actually, it's mind-blowing when you think of the triune God, that it's not good for man to be alone, but also God is like family and community in himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's no one like him.
That's right. There is no one like God.
Like the word holy, I think we get churchiosity in there and religious. Like the word holy is set apart. There's no one like him by himself. Hagios, I think, is the Greek. You guys can look that up if you want.
So God plays a huge part in his story and a huge part in the writing that he's doing right now as well. And, for both of us, actually. And so knowing who God is makes a big difference, when you're also, when you're diving into his word, when you're diving into a book, that may have some kind of relation in regards to God, to Father God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. So.
Yeah, and I think religion gets into, like, when I was younger, you always think of God as this, I don't know, kind of like my father, like just waiting to discipline you, like just screw up, and it's really not him at all.
Mm-hmm. Although he does discipline.
He does, but in a loving way.
He does discipline and he corrects and he does it in a loving way. And that's also going to be a part of your book too.
Right.
In many areas. So.
And we say we sin, it's like, I don't know, that's another word that the churches, yeah, sin's not good, but actually sin, I don't know if you know this, it's an archery term. It means to miss the mark. So what's God's mark? Again, Hagios, he's holy. He's completely set apart from us. He cannot have one sin in his presence because he knows that sin is like a cancer. It'll spread out and it doesn't just hurt us. It hurts everybody around us. That's why he said, we can't have one sin in front of him. So if you have any blemish on you, you're not a spotless lamb. You could never enter heaven without Jesus.
Mm. I did not know that about what you just shared about sin. Say that again.
That's an archery term.
Like actual archery. Like
archery.
Really?
And when you miss the target, you miss the mark. So God's target, his bullseye is perfection, sinless. So when we sin, we've missed God's perfect mark.
Wow. Did you guys know that?
I could just be making up, so be like the Bereans.
Because I didn't know that.
As a friend of mine was a lawyer, and I found that if you say anything with conviction, people will believe you. So it doesn't even have to be true, but in this case, it is true. So
how is this also related to your book? The word sin.
Well, God also is a gentleman. He could very well make us like robots or clamp down on us, but he says, you know what? You want to try living without me? Go ahead. Go ahead, live in sin, have it your own way. And he just kept giving me rope until the point you say, you know what? I've had enough. Let's not do this anymore. Let's do it your way. And that's where the surrender comes in. It's like, okay, my way obviously is not working.
That's pretty powerful.
Because anybody can give you the perfect scenario, facts about God and who he is, but until he opens your eyes to it in his time, it wouldn't do any good. You could have a perfect argument for Jesus, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to hear it. I remember when one of my friends, Peter Dewey, lived in Winston. The guy was like 6'8" tall, big guy. And another friend I saw in the supermarket said, did you hear about Pete? he got saved or found Jesus. And I went, oh, that's too bad. He was a fun guy. Like when you become a Christian, that's it. Your life is over, no more fun. That was my view.
And what's your view now?
You really don't, you're really not alive until you see him how he is, and he shows you who you are. And then everything, I've never had so much fun.
That's right. And I shared this with you guys many, many times that we're having the most fun now than we've ever had in my entire life. And, and I'm in my 50s. So, and I wouldn't change anything, wouldn't change a thing at all.
Our family is so big. We have friends and just friends, fun, music, art. We're always going. There's always something to do. It's a blast.
Also, Alice said that I heard missing the mark, but that makes sense. Yes, I'd heard about missing the mark. Yes, I've heard that term as well, but not the way that he described it, which is kind of cool. So, but thank you. So, you guys, thanks so much for joining us. Please leave us a comment if you watch this later on or watch it another day. If you have any questions for Bob, feel free to ask as well. Anything that's related to his book or his journey at all with God, just ask away, and then we'll come back and we'll answer them too. But if you guys are on here live with us also, you can always ask too, and we can answer. So we love you guys. Thanks for being here. We will see you again together next Monday. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.